Well, this is a hell of a way to start my Appalachian Trail segment from Great Barrington, Massachusetts, going all the way up into, I think it's Bennington, Vermont is will be this run. But I don't know if you recognize the church or not, but here, let me help you out. You can get anything you want at Alice's restaurant. Yes, it is. This is the Arlo Guthrie Museum, the Guthrie Center. And this is the church where it all began. You know, on that fateful Thanksgiving day where they had a feast that couldn't be beaten, and all the garbage, he decided to collect all that garbage and get rid of it. And when he looked at the hillside and saw all that garbage down over the hillside, and he decided, instead of going to the hillside and bringing all that garbage up, he decided to bring his garbage all the way down, and the whole story. No need to tell you it, but let's go in and check this out. I mean, this is just outside of Great Barrington, Massachusetts, but oh my gosh, anyone in my generation, I couldn't imagine a single person wanting to pass up, you know, the church and Alice's restaurant. We're not, I don't believe Alice has her restaurant anymore, but the church is here, forever saved.
We have light fare,
So the date here, you can check this out. I don't want to record this too long, but you can pause this and then read the article. So it's Sunday, November 29th, Thanksgiving Day, 1965, where Arlo Guthrie and his friend Richard Robbins dumped all that garbage down the hillside, which started the story, the phenomenon. For a litter bug, of course.
We accept them all.
Director, I guess you have to wear a lot of hats, right? And so that's including taking out the garbage?
I wish I could get a big enough hat rack.
But you don't throw it over the hillside, right? You have...
No, we don't. We don't do that anymore. Unless there would be a movie in it, I might think about it, but there ain't. There's no jail time in that these days.
Yeah, it would probably be more than a $25 fine that Arlo had to pay back in '65, right?
And I would probably go to the jail.
And you would probably definitely, yeah, you would probably definitely go to jail. Yeah, at least for a one-nighter. So you're the director here, and this is the church that Alice lived in.
Absolutely, her and Ray lived up in the bell tower.
And now you have a entertainment center here. You have
No. We have a community center.
A community center.
We take care of folks and help folks out. We do the music because we know how to do the music.
Because you know how. Okay. Now you were saying you feed the homeless.
We feed the hungry.
The hungry. Okay.
Every Wednesday at 12 o'clock, we feed at least 60 to 70 people every week. And unfortunately, when I started here as director about 8 years ago, we were only feeding 12 to 15 people. Wow.
So do you think it's a sign of the times?
Oh, I don't think it.
It's a bad. Okay, so it's a bad economy, and it has been bad for a long time.
People say, well, what about this is Great Barrington? This is the Berkshires. This is affluent. I said, well, yeah.
But and it doesn't matter where your zip code is. There are always hungry people all over, and
every day.
Yes,
they get hungry every day.
Every day, and thirsty. And yeah, I know, hiking the Appalachian Trail, I know all about that. So now you were also saying that you do a Thanksgiving meal.
Yeah, Thanksgiving dinner that can't be beat.
That can't be beat, right?
And in that we have homeless, we have battered women, we have guys that have rooms at the Y with no families, that kind of stuff. I make sure that we have all the to-go containers. There's nothing better on Thanksgiving night than a nice cold turkey sandwich.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So I want people to come here and have a nice meal.
But then they can take, and they can take some. And this is part of a donation. You do donations and that help.
We're a 501c3, and we're a membership organization. And we have the local banks and businesses donate. And for our community lunch, we've got Taft Farms down the street donates food every week. Yeah. Guido's Market, Berkshire Mountain Bakery. These great places.
That's amazing.
Rapala Yoga Center.
You know, when private communities come together and all pool their resources to help the needy, it makes you feel good.
It does. Well,
It makes me feel good just thinking about it.
People who need the stuff feel real good.
Oh yeah, no good. There's nothing better than a full tummy. That's for sure.
It's really, really, really true.
Well, this is amazing, and I'm glad that this is here, and I'm glad that you are doing what you're doing to keep, to keep the faith alive. In in this story, I mean, I grew up in and so did Swiss Miss here. When I told her that, we're really close to the Arlo Guthrie, museum in the church,
right.
And she was like, "Oh my gosh, you're kidding! We gotta go." And so here we are. So. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. I want to just tell you one thing that Pete says and Arlo says. Arlo says it on stage a lot. Instead of trying to make the world better right away, just everything, they're trying to do this miracle.
Yeah.
There ain't.
Yeah.
If everybody was doing something like this, taking care of the little piece,
oh yeah,
the big piece would take care of itself.
Well, yeah, it's like a puzzle. Exactly.
Guthrie Center.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Guthrie Center.
I tell you, I could just shoot a whole video just on this whole place here. Pathways to Peaceful Living. Amen.
Yeah, that's been
amen.
Nice.
So this is a church. This is an ongoing church, and
and that's the dedication. This was by Arlo's guru.
Okay. This is so excellent. And here's a lot of your venue. All these posters are people who have performed, or
that's just this summer.
Oh, this is this summer.
That's just some of this summer.
This is some of this summer, and up here is.
And that's the whole schedule.
And for this year.
Yeah, from May Memorial Day to Labor Day. Is when we run.
Okay, so yeah, you have a lot of artists here.
Oh, we have.
Oh my goodness!
One of the best schedules in the country. Look at the names. Paxton, Chapin, Rush, Carrie Newcomer, Christine.
Wow, I tell you, there's no bad seats here, huh?
There's not really a bad seat here.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, this reminds me of this is where you want to, see a show. And Arlo's performing here in October. You say?
Yeah.
That is amazing.
It's like you got them in your living room.
I'm sorry?
It's like they're in your living room.
It is like a living room, yes. And
the acoustics are phenomenal.
I can only imagine. This is your performing area. I'm just going to peek real quick. And this is it. I can't go in because they're having a rehearsal right now. This lady is rehearsing for a performance she's doing today. But people come in here. It's all seating, and how about that? That is just. You can't get a bad seat in there. Could you imagine seeing a show? Oh my God, it's like in your own living room, like you said. And here's some of the venues that they have here. And this is it. This is the church. I can't believe I'm here. And this is just so cool. It truly is. And hippies use side door. I didn't see that, or I would have went through the side door, because I'm definitely a hippie. Wow. Well, here we are, just north of Great Barrington, overlooking, I guess, part of the Berkshires. And Great Barrington is part of the Berkshires area of Massachusetts. And here we go, all the way through Mass, and then all the way through Vermont after that. So we got a great journey ahead still, folks, so hang on tight. Got a beautiful, beautiful rocky vista here, and I'm gonna take a break. Wow, what a beautiful homestead. They have cattle, really nice pasture land up here, and we're really at the top of a mountain. I've just been climbing this mountain here for the last 40 minutes or so. There's some other homes up here, so it was really, really nice. Wow, peaceful. What a great life. I'm so happy to have been able to just spot it, see it, witness it. Very cool. Well, here we are at Benedict Pond. It's August 20th. And my time here is winding down. A wonderful, beautiful, beautiful camp spot here we got here. Last night, they had drained the pond good for 4 to 6 feet. They're doing this construction bit over here. And I didn't realize until this morning when I read a note, a flyer on one of the outbuildings there that this facility is closed. But, well, too late for that. It was a great camp spot. And we're back up in there, up underneath the cedars there. They make, and the dead cedar branches make wonderful fire starter and campfire. So, well, here I am. I need to douse my coals to the fire, and I'm all packed up. We've eaten, and I'm ready to roll. Another gorgeous day, nice and cool. No bugs anymore. It's too cold for them. I think that's great. Autumn is in the air, that's for sure. Beautiful. Now here is a wonderful water hole. It's actually, it's a nice little stream, and it flows all the way down into that pond over there. Now I believe this to be Swan Brook, southbounders. They're coming through, but they're like children. They got what, 650 miles under their belt? Well, 2 southbounders led me to a stream that was actually pond fed. So that really didn't work out well. But I just want to point out here that this is what, just... So I just wanted to say that this is in between Mount Wilcox South Shelter and Mount Wilcox North Shelter. This is probably about maybe 0.8, 0.9, maybe, yeah, something like that. Well, I'll say that. Almost halfway in between the 2 shelters. I believe the 2 shelters are about 2 miles apart. But it is August 20th. And this is a good, I would call this a good flow. It's moving well here, and this is good drinking water. And I think that this should be documented, you know, being that it's late summer and still has such an amazing flow for as high as we are. For all to know, pass it on. There is water, because everybody seems to be, you know, scampering around looking for water, and it's right here. So I'll have to give people a heads up. Maybe they can communicate it better. Well, possibly correction is in order. I believe that this being a larger body, just north. Well, I don't like the way it looks though. You can see there's a lot of sediment here, as if it was perhaps you know, pond fed. But regardless, I should say, this, I would say, is Swan Brook. So therefore, the one perhaps, you know, 0.2, 0.3 miles south of this, I think I like the water better. So whatever that is called, let's Puma Stream. Perhaps if it doesn't have a name, I'll name it. But yeah, just to get our bearings a little bit better, and a correction, because that is not Swan Brook. I would say that this, the larger body, is Swan Brook, and that small tributary, that little stream just south of here, is a good water source, I thought, anyways. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. What did I tell you about paradise? This is all jewelweed, actually. And I've seen hummingbirds feeding, or at least approaching the flowers. That's southbound, by the way. But how gorgeous is this? Like I said, paradise, man, I live in it every day. Just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I love these spots. And jewelweed. And how fitting to have stinging nettles right alongside of your jewelweed, or your jewelweed right inside of your, or right beside your stinging nettles. Yes, jewelweed has anti-itch properties, good for stinging nettles, bug bites, and poison ivy. Just crush up a bunch of it, roll it in your hands, and rub it onto your injured parts. And what do we have? A honeybee foraging here? I can't really tell. It's moving so fast. It's quite large. It's probably a bumblebee. Yeah, they're bumblebees. Very cool. Oh, this is so cool. Well, here we are on top of the Cobble Hill Reserve. And some gorgeous, gorgeous views here. Just a little grassy knoll. Lovely birch trees over there. Oh yeah, I love whole clump. Beautiful. Excellent. And way off in the distance, I have a couple of homes. That one it's all nestled up there in the forest. Wow, looks very private from here. Trail, and we're facing south. But I imagine we're going to go up over here and then traverse across this ridge going this way, and that will connect to that other finger over there that I saw, and that'll put us in the right direction, and we'll be crossing the Massachusetts Turnpike. I was at Interstate 90 tomorrow over there. Well, here we are at Knee Deep Pond, on our way to the upper pond and the upper pond cabin, and really an up close and personal view of a beaver dwelling. And I would say, well, they're nocturnal. I would say that is a very, very active hut. It's just, they're amazing creatures, and would love to see them in action. You know, they had fell a huge tree the other day that we had captured. I took some shots of photographs of it, but here it looks like just a lovely home for them. Good old Knee Deep Pond. Geez, wonder how it got its name. Another beautiful day. Really is. I'm really loving Massachusetts too. So this is a wonderful adventure still ahead. I'm having a great time. Glad you're with me. Well, that is just fab. Now, I guess that's the old fireplace to the old clubhouse, I imagine. Just as we go around, here we are, Upper Goose Pond, I thought. But yeah, grand old fireplace, that's for sure. Wow. Must have been quite a sight back in its day. So that's pretty big. Cool. And here's the pond. And we're off to the cabin still, where you can, that's a big old pond. It's more like a lake to me. Thing is enormous. I mean, let's check it out here. Holy smokes. Nice beach. Yes, we came from that way. And wow, that is enormous. You gotta be kidding me. Wonder where the cabin is. Somebody's fishing. Looks like he even has a motorboat. I want to fish. I'm gonna fish. Boy, what a gorgeous day. You can feel autumn in the air and everything. Wow, what a gorgeous place. Holy smokes. Nice. There's a spring over here somewhere on the other side. Got to get a canoe to get to it. But, well, let's trek on. This is gorgeous. I think I'm going to stay. Looks like a great spot.
You're hiking the trail?
We're hiking the trail, yes.
There you go.
Yeah, right now. Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
Nice spot.
We fed him and drank him.
Nice, nice.
His canoe trying to get back.
Cool, cool spot.
Laughed at him.
Ha ha ha.
American way.
Yes, I see that. And the secret spring. And there it is. What a lovely pool. And how do we know? Oh, here's the shovel and the filling bucket. So here it is. The secret spring to the cabin in Upper Goose Pond. Da-da-da. The drama unfolds, folks. This is now the lower Goose Pond. It is twice the size of the upper Goose Pond. It is really, really phenomenal. There's actually cabins. People live on this one. How about that? Wow. That is absolutely gorgeous. There's a sailing canoe out there to the right. But this is gorgeous. You can see this. The stars on the water. Now we're going back to the Upper Goose Pond and through this tight little channel here that separates the two. And one of the local people that live here told me that this was all dug out for mining the iron ore. This is absolutely paradise. And I know I've mentioned it before, but I'll say it again. My Sony CyberShot, the TX5, is waterproof. to 3 meters. And let's demonstrate. Oh gosh, this is great. This water is just unbelievably wonderful. Fishing later, but this is so nice. And I have my friend, and she's a foreigner, so she's naked. Yeah, that's what they do. That's what foreigners do. They swim naked. They don't even own bathing suits in foreign countries because they all swim naked. This is so gorgeous. It is very deep for a pond. It's very big for a pond too. On the water's edge, these gorgeous little flowers. I mean, they're just so small. Here's my little pinky, just to show you how small they are. Oh my goodness. And they're just all along the edge. Little pixie flowers for all the little wood elves that come here to the pond to hang out. I believe that. There. You're rolling. So, you are called Desperado.
I am.
Desperado.
That's right.
From the Eagles, from their first album,
yes,
Desperado.
That's correct.
Just FYI, just in case anyone under the age of whatever. So,
Dog me, I love Joe Walsh.
now I believe that you come from North Dakota.
Indeed.
So, why do you have a coat on? I mean, good God, you would think that you're
I
used
look
to like
good in
minus.
this coat.
You do look good. Is that what? That's what. It's a fashion statement.
It's a fashion statement.
So tell me about your hike.
Well, I almost peed on a rattlesnake. My girl convinced me not to.
You almost peed on a rattlesnake.
Well,
Is this
I heard
like a?
something I heard a noise, but I thought it was the cicadas.
Okay.
It was a rattler.
It was a rattler, but I mean, you were already peeing,
No.
Oh, you were
I
about to
wasn't.
pee.
She called to me, and I ran away.
and you ran away.
It was very scary.
Wow, that does sound scary. Reminds me of a joke about, but never mind. It's about the Long Ranger, you know, and a rattlesnake, and you know, and something about peeing. But
They
we don't
walked
need.
into a bar.
It's it's a long story with Tonto. Tonto's revenge, we could call it. So yeah, so it was nothing like that.
No,
No.
I believe not.
So how is your hike going?
Decently.
Decently. Now you started in Georgia. You're a northbounder.
I did.
I could tell by just your scruffy, rough, you know,
My beard.
edgy,
My beard
edgy,
has improved.
and your beard, your beard. That's the folks back home. Boy, they won't even recognize you when you when you get home. Could be 2 feet of snow by the time you get home.
Hush! Don't speak of evil
No
things.
snow.
I love snow.
Snow. Oh, I love snow too.
I look forward to it. The hike is okay. New
Okay.
York was hot.
New York
and
was hot.
dramatic. We had low morale. But Massachusetts is nice.
Yeah, in Connecticut, right?
Connecticut was nice. Yeah.
So what would you say was your favorite part of your journey so far? How about your favorite state? Do you have one yet? I mean, you're not done yet. New Hampshire's so
I like
awesome.
Maryland, actually.
And
I
Maryland?
like Jersey. But I think Vermont will be my favorite.
Yeah.
It's very beautiful.
I'm looking forward to it
I
myself.
know. So I don't really have a favorite.
You don't really,
They all
yeah.
have their moments. Even PA had its moments.
Yeah, everyone asks me, I say Virginia, but I may change that. You know, it's really hard to say until you finish it and have gone to Maine and everything before you can actually say what's your favorite state, because you haven't gone to them all yet. But as of now, your favorite state would be Maryland, New Jersey? Jersey?
I don't know.
Yeah. Then don't worry about it.
Virginia was long.
Yeah.
It's hard to love Virginia.
Yeah. I know. After I left Virginia, it still felt like I was in Virginia. It took a while. That separation anxiety just wasn't letting go.
Just relief. Pure relief.
Right? Yeah. So here we are. We're at the Upper Goose Pond cabin.
That's
here,
correct.
and this is pretty cool, right?
It's very cool.
We had pancakes and coffee.
We did.
We had canoe rides. Two canoe rides.
And trail magic.
Trail magic, yes. It's just amazing how things always just come together and work out. And there's a lot of hikers here.
Oh man.
For this evening. Did you get a number? Were there like 15, 20?
I didn't get a number. I think there were about 15.
15, yeah. That's what.
Was the bunkhouse full?
Not completely full, but it was pretty packed.
Okay.
You tented it?
I did tent it.
I did too.
I was happy.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. That way, I don't have anyone to, complain about but myself at the noise. Not everyone's ready to be quiet and sleep, the same time I am, which has been early lately.
The kids were up pretty late.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I was worried about. And I've had my share of hostels and bunkhouses since I've been on, so I know that the best thing for me to do is tent it. And then there's no surprises. I know how it's going to end. With me going to sleep early with no chatter. So, would you like to conclude anything? Say hi to Mom or your pet goldfish?
Mom, I have no goldfish.
No goldfish? Okay. They probably freeze in North. I'm only saying that because I had tropical fish in Oregon, and every time that we had a winter storm, they would die because of the tank heater. So we would lose power, and then, so I stopped keeping tropical fish in the northern climates. It just doesn't work out.
I don't.
You don't, yeah. Well, you're a woman on the go all the time. Look at you traveling. I mean, you don't have time for that.
No.
Well, you can always keep the little goldfish in a tank on a necklace, but that, but in hard times, it could be a problem for the goldfish. In the water that the goldfish is, living in, hiking. No, you don't see that as a problem, right? Okay, I'm just speaking for myself, and I'm thinking out loud. I do that all the time.
Yes, you do.
Well, I'm just so used to being alone that it's never been a problem before until, I started on the AT. You think that you would be alone. Oh my God, it's going to be great. I'm going to be alone, in touch with nature and everything. There's a lot of people out here. You're never really alone.
No.
Never.
No.
In moments, maybe. But still. I mean, if I want somebody to, just pop up in the middle of nowhere, I just have to start to pee. And somebody will come right around the corner.
Not one somebody, 10 somebody.
Yeah, isn't that weird? That's weird how that happens, right? It's like washing your car if you want it to rain. It's one of those things.
We were in Tennessee and I stopped to use the bathroom. And of course, 10 people walked by.
Okay.
Some of the guys are like, what's going on? And the guy with the girlfriend's like,
oh, yeah. Yeah, I have adapted to carrying my pack with me off the trail into the abyss, and because you leave your pack on the trail, and of course everyone's going to see your pack and then start looking around. It's like, geez, I wonder where this person. Where do you think this person is going in the middle of nowhere, leaving their pack behind? Let me guess.
It's not rocket science.
It's not rocket, but it happens. So I carry my pack now out off the trail.
It's inconvenient.
Inconvenient. Yeah.
You coming? Yeah, I'm on Netflix.
So, final words and your conclusion of.
Can't wait to get to Maine.
You can't wait to get to Maine.
It's time.
Yeah. Okay. Well. Maine will be there waiting
It'll
for
be
you.
there waiting for me.
That's for sure.
If I can still walk.
Well, my friend, it's been a great time hiking with you on and off. All the times that we've run into each other. And I will see you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Bye, Desperado. What a lovely smile you have. So hi.
Hi.
You are a northbound through hiker.
I am. My hiking partner is Desperado.
Yes.
I am Micro. I am from Florida.
And you're from Florida. A lot of Floridians hiking the AT.
Mm-hmm.
What's up with that?
I don't know.
Okay.
Several of them are even from my town, and
No
lo
kidding.
and behold, I never met them before ever.
And that's something. Which is where?
Sarasota.
Sarasota.
Sarasota's not that big.
I have a cousin in Sarasota.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
See? Another Floridian connection.
Another Floridian. Yeah, she's
Another Sarasota.
she's a bridge builder for the Department of Transportation in Florida.
Really?
Yeah.
I wonder if
She's
you
an
worked
engineer.
with her.
I'm sorry?
I wonder if I've worked with her.
Yeah.
For a company potentially.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
I do
no
want
need to say her name on the internet, but but how is your hike going,
It's
Micro?
been alright.
Yeah?
It's been good. Hanging in there.
Yeah. You're moving right along. You've got about what, 1,520?
1,540 some odd miles.
And
in.
yeah. Pretty soon, 1,600 miles.
I know. By the
Right.
end of the week, hopefully.
In another week. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah. So,
Cross into what, our 11th state? We're in our 10th state right
is it
now?
the 10th state?
10th or 11th?
Yeah. That's, and we go through 13,
Go through 14.
14 states.
So after we get out of Massachusetts, we've got
Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine.
yep,
Yes.
3 states left.
Yeah, that's awesome. Right?
Crazy.
Yeah. And the temperatures have gotten quite cool in the last few days.
Week. Yeah,
But I have to embrace it because it really kind of the mosquitoes
really, yeah,
have been really driving me crazy over the last few weeks. So I was about done with the bugs. And so this, even if the weather breaks, because this is a little unseasonal, this cold temperature. So even if it gets warm again, this nice break from the bugs, I needed it.
At least in the mornings and evenings.
Yes.
You get a little bit of a break. It's
Yeah,
nice.
so I'm happy with the temperature change, and I know it won't last. I hear actually by the weekend it's going to be in the 80s again.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so
Gorgeous weather.
oh yeah, it's going to be cold soon enough. No need to hurry it along.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So what are some of your highlights of your trip?
Highlights? I really like Tennessee, North Carolina area. It was quite pretty.
Are we talking the Smokies?
Smokies and south of the Smokies area.
Oh, okay, south of the Smokies. Okay, yeah.
It's a territory that I'm a little more familiar with.
Okay.
I enjoyed it a lot.
Okay.
New Jersey was a surprise. It was a little rocky, but views every day and quite pretty.
There was some nice grassy flat tops for campsites if you could bring your own water. I enjoyed that of New Jersey, all the nice campsites on the tops of the hills or the mountains.
Exactly.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
We've had some excellent trail magic as well.
Oh,
We've had
in
some-
New Jersey?
In Jersey, and just in general, we've met some amazing people who are incredibly kind and hospitable and generous.
Yeah, it seems to even in the north here, maybe not as much as in the south, but there's a lot of trail magic.
It seems just as common up here as it seems as it is in the
Okay,
south.
well that's good to know because there's a lot of rumors that are spread about
New England isn't friendly.
New England isn't friendly and
maybe
Virginia's
we have
flat
yet to
and.
Virginia is not flat.
Yeah, there we go. We have another. It's confirmed. We have another
not
person stating. Can you say it one more time?
Virginia is not flat.
Yes, thank you.
It is incredibly rocky.
Yes, and mountains. Yes, I enjoyed the ponies. Did you see the ponies? Yeah.
The pony tried to eat my packs.
They ate your pack, right?
They tried to.
Did they bite you? Try to eat your?
they
Yeah,
did.
me too. Yeah, I was feeding them. I brought a pound of carrots.
Okay.
So I had about 20 ponies kind of rush me at the same time. It was kind of stressful for,
I bet.
yeah, but I didn't want them to eat my pack. I guess it's the salt that
Yeah, they were definitely definitely licking my my trekking pole handles and my backpack straps and me and so on and so forth.
Yeah, so.
And they found a way to open the zipper on people's packs, so you
Oh,
don't
yeah,
have
yeah.
to be careful.
Oh, yeah. So when you started in Georgia, how heavy was your pack?
My pack in Georgia was 32.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You did your homework.
I did, but when you're not that big to begin with, it's still a lot.
Yeah, you're not even 100 pounds, are you?
Barely.
Barely. Oh, you are?
Barely.
101?
Yeah. Give or take, yeah.
Yeah, so give or take, yeah.
Give or take a few, depending on.
A few, yeah. How much water you drank,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I hear that. You know, on a hot day, I guess, right?
Yeah.
No. We had some hot days.
Yes, we did.
We had
It's
like
been
a lot.
really hot.
Dry, early
year.
summer, right? You know, the heat waves that we had. Oh my goodness. So that.
It's a little dangerous. So you end up carrying more water than what is normal. Perhaps what I should, but
Yeah, I've actually still am carrying extra water at the end of my days because I probably won't hike to where there's a water source, so I need to carry extra water for, you know, cooking and
exactly.
and for
washing
the
up.
morning and washing up and everything.
Yeah.
But
And a lot of the water sources have been dry too, so you can't really rely on that.
that's it. We're kind of, you know, we're kind of hoping, you know, the string of information from southbounders and everything is for our reliable water sources to keep, you know, for our planning, because we hike from water to water.
Pretty much.
Pretty much. It's all about the water. You know, you can't live without it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like to camp by water.
Yeah.
But I have found.
You can find it.
Yeah.
I know there are even parts of New York where you're getting water from spigot to spigot because
Yeah.
it's the only
Yeah,
water
New York. Yeah.
available. So.
Yeah, New Jersey too. Those little pumps. Took me a while to figure out how that damn thing worked. You know, with the little knob and everything to pull up. You know, on the hand pump.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That was I have never seen that model before. With the little basin.
Yeah.
So, well, how would you like to conclude? By saying hello to anyone special, your mother, or your dog, or anyone?
Mom and Dad.
Hi, Mom and
Miss my
Dad.
dog.
From
Arkansas.
Arkansas. The breadbasket of America.
Yeah,
Sort of.
that's it.
One of many.
One of them.
One of many.
One of many.
Well, it's been a pleasure hiking with
been
you
very
on and off,
fun.
you and Desperado, and I plan on seeing you up the trail.
Absolutely. We better.
Yes.
More fun times to come.
Oh yeah, I agree.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And this is it. This is the cabin on Upper Goose Pond that was donated by its original owners to the Appalachian Trail. I'm not sure the Conservancy or what, but this is in the hands of the Appalachian Trail now, and it has caretakers, and they do a lovely pancake breakfast with coffee to send all the hikers on their way. I imagine must be, I'll have to ask Kim. We're going to interview Kim, the caretaker, here shortly, but I just want to say there's a bunkhouse here, lovely fireplace and everything, and it is just a wonderful stay. It's just one of those great little retreats that when you're hiking and you can go here and, well, you saw the video, and the canoe and the pond is just, I mean, that's an amazing pond. It's so deep and so clear. It was just a gorgeous stay, and it just really, you need these mental health days there to keep you grounded and pushing forward. Well, here we are with the caretaker of the Upper Goose Pond cabin.
Yeah.
Just want to get that right. The UGP, Upper Goose Pond, right?
Upper Goose Pond. Yeah.
And well, why don't you tell me first of all, you're Kim, right? Hi, Kim.
I'm Kim, and I've been caretaking since 1991. I started caretaking, and for a while I had to take a break when my kids were little, but now we're back and we do it as a family.
Nice.
Caretakers volunteer a week of their time, so it's the cabin is basically maintained and run by all volunteers. So there are people who are willing to come out here and help out and feed hikers and make sure people are safe. And also this week we happen to have 4 college groups coming through. for their orientation, so the cabin's here for their use. We have scout groups that come up and use the cabin's facilities. So it's kind of a interesting way to spend a vacation.
Now this is, what would you say, this is owned by the government, by the National Park Service?
Now
This-
it is, yep.
Okay.
Now it is. It originally was owned by George Stillwell, who used it as a summer place and would open it up for hikers and
Okay.
help them out. And when he passed away, the Appalachian Mountain Club of Massachusetts volunteered to keep things going. And
Okay.
it just kind of grew.
And it grew, wow.
And it grew, and it grew, and it. There's caretakers that start the second week of May, right through until I believe the third week of September, and then
Wow.
afterwards it goes weekends.
Okay.
And a lot of changes over the years. The porch was always here, but a railing's been added. The fire escape's
The
been
fire
added.
escape, okay.
You know, we're out in the woods so far that if you want cell phone reception, you stand on the fire escape, extend your arm, and hope that it works.
Yeah,
But,
we get a lot of that out here.
yeah. We get spring water. One of our jobs, besides making pancakes and coffee in the morning, is getting the spring water.
And getting the spring water.
And the spring is across the pond, thus you have to have a canoe, and you have to
Yeah.
have some skills
And some skills, yes,
to
yes.
get across and get the boat there. But
Yeah, Swiss Miss and I helped
Yeah.
out with that
Yeah.
yesterday and got water
it was great.
for everyone.
It was great. So
And so this cooking of, feeding hikers.
Yeah.
I mean, that just sounds daunting to me when you have a big mob. All hikers have quite the appetite.
they do, but what I find is I don't make real big pancakes. I put 4 to the griddle, and I put them on a platter, and I just keep bringing the platters until everybody's satisfied. And I find that, some will eat 2 or 3, and some will eat 5 or 6, but to me it all averages out.
Okay, yeah.
And the nice thing is because I only do 1 griddle, so that I can keep the coffee coming as well, is it takes time, and they're patient and they wait, which is nice.
Okay, yeah.
Are you
Wow, and
ready for
everybody is
pancakes?
everybody is up now. So it's time for you to get back to work.
It is. I've got 2 more people to feed. Well,
Yeah,
myself
you-
and 2 more to feed, and
Okay,
we'll get
And-
their pancakes done.
excellent. Anything?
Clean up.
And clean up, yeah. And it sounds like a big job. Anything that you'd like to add before about?
I just find that many of the hikers tell me that this is trail magic.
It is truly trail magic.
And I find that this cabin has brought my own trail magic.
It kind of feeds itself, this trail magic stuff.
It does.
It's like kindness.
Yep, kindness.
And when you're kind to
Yes.
people and they're kind back, it's kind of, yeah. Yeah, exactly. I think it's very beautiful, and it really touches my heart every time I see it happen.
Yeah.
And thank you so much,
You're
Kim.
welcome. Enjoy your hike.
Thank you. I love the smell of cut grass in the morning. And here you see, we have a lovely landscape. And here, beautiful home, nice decking, lots of plants, great windows and skylights and everything on a southern exposure. So I have a great surprise for you. And you know that I've been interviewing folks this season, with all the hiker activity and everything, and gee whiz, and I've met a few celebrities. I remember the Ridge Runner, Devo, who happens to be on the cover of the Thru Hiker Companion this year, 2012. Well, I've really got a great surprise for you now. I just love fuchsias. I was never really good at growing them. I could grow the heck out of orchids, but I really had a difficult time with fuchsias. But I just think that they are just so absolutely gorgeous. And the lady of the house here has got quite the green thumb. I must say the pink fuchsias have always been a favorite of mine, and they're just so gorgeous. I just love the way they cascade like that down. And it's really hard to, I'm not really seeing the gorgeous colors that I'm used to, but that's it. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Okay, another hint. Well, you got it. That's a blueberry bush. No, it's a blueberry farm. And now we're going to interview the caretakers of this lovely place. We got a butterfly there. Oh, just caught my eye. Wow. I wonder what it's doing. Could it be just nibbling on the sweet juices? How would it do that? How curious. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And there's a very fruitful. I was asking them, but what about the birds? And they say they have so many blueberries, the birds can't eat them all. And that's just amazing. We have at the vineyard, Skydog Wine in New York, we have a problem with birds. I guess they just have so many blueberries that they just birds are like, oh, another blueberry? Not another blueberry, dear. Can we try something else? But oops. Blueberries. Let's go meet the people. And here, our surprise guests. Greetings. I want to, Roy, introduce yourselves.
Okay, yeah, I'm Roy, and then this is Marilyn, the cookie lady.
The cookie lady, and there it is, folks. You're quite famous in the hiker community, Marilyn. And how did this all start? I'm really curious.
Well, we moved here 25 years ago, and I had read a story about a woman who lived down in, it's a house on the corner of West Branch, which you crossed, and she had made cookies in the 50s. Mm-hmm. She probably had 50 hikers a year.
Yeah.
So I started making cookies, and once you start making cookies, you don't stop.
Okay. Yeah.
So it was kind of continuing a tradition, but you know, it wasn't a tradition that had lasted too long.
Okay. And now how long have you been making cookies for hikers? I remember reading.
About 20 years.
About 20 years now, because I remember reading a book about the Barefoot Sisters, and they mentioned you, and I remember a couple of other books that I have read that have mentioned you as well. So when I was coming up from the south, I was like, well, I have to stop and meet the cookie lady. And here you are. You have quite the green thumb, and this is a wonderful piece of property here. It's about 20 acres.
About 20 acres.
About 20 acres. And that's a lot of work. That keeps you busy, eh, Roy, in Maryland?
We heat with wood.
And you heat with wood.
So it's a lot of cutting.
Mm-hmm. And I see did you build this home?
Yes, we did.
You did. And so a lot of thought went into the southern exposure with the windows and the insulation, right?
So super insulated.
And now earlier you had mentioned that you burn about 4 cords.
Not more than that.
Not more. That's pretty good. You know, for Massachusetts, I mean, you get some cold weather up here, and a long winter, and 4 cords of wood. That's pretty good. That's a little. I think to me in Oregon, I was burning about 8 to 10 cords of wood a year.
Well, this house is super insulated.
Right.
All the walls in there.
Yeah. So when you built it to last, and I guess that's a benefit of designing and building your own home. You know that so much care can go into it that way, and that it's
cut down the fuel consumption.
And well, exactly. So that's excellent, and I want to take the time right now and thank you so much for your efforts and what you do for hikers. You know, and your cookies are amazing.
Oh, thank you.
So, do you have any? What are some of your grandest? Do you have a great hiker story, or any memories that come to mind that make you laugh or that touch your heart?
There are a few. there was a family about, I don't know, 8 years ago, and the whole family hiked the trail. And there were, what, 5 kids? And
Yeah, they call themselves the family of 7.
The family. I wonder if that's the same family that the Barefoot Sisters that hiked with and
It would have
talked.
been about the same time.
Okay, because in their book, I think in their first book, they talk about the family. But go ahead.
Yeah, the family came, and the father and mother sat down, and the 5 kids
Yeah.
did everything. They had a big tent.
Okay.
Everybody stayed in the tent.
In the same tent.
And
Okay.
the kids did the cooking. The kids did the cleanup. The kids did everything. And as far as we know, they finished. And because one of the sons came back about 3 years later, and so the family had, done the whole trail. But that's very unusual. The youngest person I remember was a 9-year-old.
A 9-year-old.
Yeah, and I have no reason to believe that he didn't finish.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, the story this year is of the 12-year-old who's going to do the 3 trail. No, she did the PCT last year. She's finished with the AT. And next year it's the Continental.
The Continental, and then she'll be the Triple Crown, or maybe the youngest person to have hiked. Yeah, a little redhead, you said?
Yeah.
Well, I guess she'll be on the cover of Backpacker magazine here for sure. I guarantee it.
And then the last year, the woman broke the record.
I met her.
Oh, did you?
Well,
meet
I
her?
saw her. I saw her. Yes, I was hiking last year as well, and she broke. Yeah, she's from Asheville, North Carolina, and Roy had said that her parents, I believe, and her husband.
Her husband and her friend were here.
Okay.
But we never saw her.
Oh no, huh? Oh yes, yeah.
Flying by.
She goes flying by. I saw her. She passed me. I just so happened to show up at a road crossing where her resupply was waiting for her.
Uh-huh.
And they were drilling me with all the questions about water and the trail. How well the trail was and blowdowns and things like that, and I went about my way, and there she was. She come out, and then somebody told me later who it was.
Oh, you didn't know when?
And well, they had told me that she was trying to break the record, and then somebody emailed me from Asheville and said that that she broke the record, and I was like, I met her.
Yeah, people were funny. They said, oh, she has very long legs. And we thought, she has a lot more than long legs.
Yeah, need a strong back too. But I think more about that. You need a strong mind. It can be very challenging, not only physically but mentally. When you're in the storms, and that's why it's always great to come to a place like this. This is, I call this one of the mental health havens where you can come and really get grounded again, and being around kind people, and off the trail even for moments, with some fresh baked cookies, really does a body good. For me anyways, in my experience, it's nice, these short breaks, a day break, whatever it takes, and just and feel human again, because out there it can be a little rough, between the weather and the bugs and the heat and the cold, depending, of course.
In the summertime, we see a lot of hikers are drenched.
Mm-hmm.
This year they were very dry.
Yeah, it was a dry, hot, across the country. I was, the 2 fellas yesterday that bought eggs, the 2 brothers from Iowa.
Yeah.
Says hi. They camped with us last night, so they wanted to make.
They were neat. I grew up in Iowa.
Yeah, he said.
So Roy had phoned me and said they needed a ride, so I went to Cheringham to pick them up. And we went to Iowa State.
Mm-hmm. So they went to Iowa State.
I don't know if some of them have gone to Iowa State, and so they live in the general Des Moines, Ankeny area.
Mm-hmm.
So we could talk about Iowa.
Oh yes,
But they were nice brothers. They were interesting.
Yeah.
And one of them was in the corn breeding industry.
Okay.
And so I don't know if you noticed, but he was really burned. and he said that he was sunburned because he'd been out in the cornfields for a long time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so he works with the manipulation of a better corn breed, you think? Yeah, I was asking him about because of the drought.
Yeah.
And he was talking about 20% loss this year.
Oh, I'm surprised
in the crops.
it's that low.
He
He said, my daughter lives in Indiana, and she said the corn was 1.5 feet tall.
Oh my gosh.
He said they hadn't done Indiana and Illinois yet.
Mm-hmm. And in Nebraska, they still have that aquifer, so they'll probably be okay, I imagine. But I saw a crop of corn in southern Pennsylvania before Damascus, and not Damascus. Where am I thinking? Wherever that town was in Pennsylvania, the corn wasn't looking too great there either. So you've been doing this for 20 years, and and it's amazing. It's amazing. You touch so many people. So many people talk about y'all and your hospitality, up and down the trail. You're a living legend, I have to say, in the hiker community. You're up there with Bob Peoples.
It's really interesting. That cookie means so much to people. It's only a cookie.
But as a hiker, I have to say, you become really grounded with the simple things in life. Hiking, all you have is what's on your back, and you're hiking sometimes days on end before you hit a town, especially down in the south. And it's the simple things: a cookie, just a cookie, an ice cold soda. It means the world to you, and it's like there's nothing like it. And so, and it really helps ground you into the simplicity of life. And sometimes, in the big towns and cities, we just get so overwhelmed with everything so available for you, 24/7. And out backpacking, it is not. And so when you come to these treats, it really is truly special. And thank you. And thank you for doing your part, because you really do touch a lot of lives. And I was looking forward to coming here myself and meeting you, and both of you. And it was a wonderful experience. And you have such a great spread. I love your blueberries. I imagine you make a blueberry cookie, right?
Well, we often send the blueberries down to the next shelter. Upper Goose Mountain.
Oh, you do?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
They
For their pancakes. Well, I have to say we didn't have them a couple of days ago, but they weren't. I'm sorry.
Just not looking at it.
Yeah. It's a bit late in the season, but there's an awful lot of blueberries on the bushes. It's more than the birds can handle, I guess, which is pretty fascinating. As itself, because I help oversee a vineyard in New York City, Skydog Wine, and we have to cover our grapes with netting, and the birds still get in there, and they'll eat every grape. So I was a little.
Then you have trouble getting them out.
And then they can get in, but they sure have a hard time getting out. And then we'll have to catch them and release them and all of these things. But what a beautiful place you have here, and I just want to thank you again, for everything that you do for hikers. And it was a pleasure and an honor to meet you. Thank you so much. I mean that from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
You're quite welcome. So, what mountain is this? Does this have a name?
It has a mountain. It has a name. I have no idea what it is though.
I heard that we climb 284 named mountains from Georgia and Maine, something like that. And it just boggles my mind. Hey, hiker.
Yes.
Well, what do they call you?
What do they call me? I'm hopeful.
You're hopeful.
I'm hopeful.
And I'm hopeful too.
Yeah,
how are we going to get past that? You can call me Puma. How about that?
I'll call you Puma.
But I'm definitely always hopeful. I try to have that kind of attitude.
Yeah, man.
So I like like-minded people that have the same positive attitude. Right. So you're northbound.
I am.
That's same here.
Yes.
I'm doing big sections, hiking with a lot A lot of hikers this year. So,
I believe I've heard this year is the most, I don't know, the busiest that the trails have been.
in
The number of
like
hikers.
ever, or a number of years?
Ever, yeah.
And ever. That's interesting.
Based off of what, Springer Mountain and Harper's Ferry.
Okay,
So it's a little
yeah.
inconsistent.
I heard the same things, and I read a lot of books about hiking the AT before it was part of my pre-planning trip to hike the AT. Even though I still showed up with an 85-pound backpack, you can laugh. It's okay.
That's what everybody does.
but it was to hike my own hike. I needed my laptop.
Yeah, that's right.
I needed these things. I didn't bring the chair though, so I thought I was doing well. But I heard the same thing. But in my study, I heard that in a bad economy, more people will go and hike the trail for one reason or another.
Absolutely.
I know everyone in Florida is probably hiking on unemployment, but that's okay too. I'm sorry?
I said I met someone who was doing that.
Yeah, I met a lot of people that were doing that last year. But what are some of your hopes and ambitions, or better yet, what have you experienced so far?
That's a big question too. What have I experienced so far? Goodness gracious.
How about, let's start
small.
Start small, just with visual experiences.
Visual experience. What have I experienced visually? Goodness gracious. Well, I started in the springtime. So I've seen spring basically all the way up.
Mm-hmm.
It got hot, so I saw summertime in Virginia. Saw big summer storms. Great big summer storms.
The real big one?
Oh yeah, the real big one.
I was in that one.
Yeah. I was not in that one. I was sitting in a Mexican restaurant with no electricity.
Okay.
Drinking cold beer and food that was cooked on a gas range.
So you're
window in that one.
hopeful. Or lucky.
Do it right.
Yeah. So you're hopeful and lucky. Jeez.
Sometimes.
Oh my gosh, that was awesome. I was in Standing Bear Hostel when the big storm came through, so I was safe, but not as safe as you.
Yeah.
Cool.
I was very cozy and very
Oh
happy.
yeah,
In
no.
good company.
Oh yeah, no, that sounds awesome. That's a great place to be in a storm. Cool. Did you feed the ponies in Virginia?
Let's see. I did feed the ponies. I did not try to ride the ponies.
Yeah, that's good.
I merely petted and fed the ponies.
Okay, good. Yeah.
They were happy.
Yeah. I fed the ponies some carrots. I carried a pound of carrots up there. And I was really happy to see them and feed them. I shot video of it, and it was so funny when I look back at it, because I was really stressed out. They 20 of them just rushed me and started eating my pack, and then started working on my clothes. So it was kind of a hostile interview.
I can imagine.
And and I wanted to feed them, and retain all of my fingers at the same time. So how about a more deeper question about the inner you in your hike? Because when you're out here, and you can't fool me, because I'm out here too, you really have a lot of time to think.
Absolutely.
And really, you get this, because you don't have, after a while, for me, it usually takes about 2 days to get the last town out of my head. But you really have a lot of time to really do some deep thinking about on so many levels, yourself and just the world around you, everything. So on that, not so much about you, or about what comes to your mind when you think about your thoughts on the trail?
Oh, goodness gracious. Man, I'm going to have a cop-out answer. There's no way I can answer that big question. And the cop-out would be something like, what would the cop-out be?
For me, I think about not so much what I didn't do right, but my future and all my expectations of all the things that I wish to accomplish in my life.
At this point in my life, I don't have that much to think about. I can think. I'm 24 years old right now, so you can, 24-year-old's a pretty self-centered person, and teenage to about 24 is very self-centered. So I feel like I've done just about all the self-thought that I need to do in the last, I don't know, 5 years, 6 years, 5 years. So self-thought is okay at the moment, at least at this stage of my life. So right now, all that I'm focused on is being a big old sponge. And so one reason I came out to the trail was to talk, to listen. Just listen as much as possible. I should always be listening more than talking. I should always be conversing with people more than writing in a diary, because I don't have very good things to say, or very much to say, or very many stories to tell. So now is the time to be listening, to be asking people, well, what were you doing when you were my age, or why did you make that decision, or how do you feel about these things, or what are your concerns about the future, you know? How is this place changing, and how have you seen it change, and where do you want to see it change too? And you just try to sponge it all in as much as possible, and then have enough quiet time to process that, and maybe turn it into some other ideas later. So
yeah, I think,
ideas are still in the making.
Yeah, I think you really nailed it when you're saying processing too, because you really do have, you know, you can just pick a topic and you can just, like, you know, process it and turn it inside out, and you just, you know, because this whole time belongs to you. You don't have to report to anybody, check into anyone. As long as you have, you know, food and you know where there's good water,
Absolutely.
you're golden.
Absolutely. It's a special treat and a rare treat for most people.
No, it is, and so many people are afraid to make, you know, to do it.
Yeah.
You know, to make that big step.
Yeah. I mean, you see hunger for it though. You could point to the down economy. You could point to lightweight gear. You could point to, you know, REI stores expanding all across the country. But the more people are out here because more people are hungry for that kind of stuff.
I agree.
Definitely.
And I believe, you know, just in a spiritual standpoint and viewing the world, as you say, take it all in and be a sponge. As I'm watching, I see so many people searching.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, for it's not like, you know, the big, you know, it's not for monetary things. It's more spiritual now, and they're looking for an inner peace and an inner happiness within themselves instead of the big. You know, we all did that, the big house, and we saw what,
from that example.
and people have learned hard right now by that example.
I hope so.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you hope people learn from examples.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah,
It was great meeting you.
nice talking
Thank
to
you so much.
Hell yeah.
Here are two just wonderful finds of the same species. They're called buets, and you can tell by the bulbous stems at the base here, and they're very similar to the violet quartz, but the violet quartz often will, in color you have to be careful because it often changes with the environment, but these are edible and gorgeous as well. They really are. I love to find them in the forest. Just the colors are amazing. I eat them anyways. Elderberries. Makes a great jam preserve. But and then the background here we have blackberries. They're rather small but sweet. I'm enjoying it all. Found some false Solomon seal berries too earlier. The red ones are quite tasty. Well, and while we're on topic here, well, here's a beautiful specimen, very young specimen of Jack in the pulpit. You can see the tiny little cob in the center, which will turn red, bright red. And this is poisonous, but has many benefits, I must say. You can eat the root tuber if you let it dry for about 6 months. Best to shave it up in little bits and then dry it out, roast it, grind it up, and it makes like a cocoa. But definitely dry it for a good 6 months or you're going to have problems. Well, here we are. This is called the cobble, and it is a marble overlook of the, I believe that's the Housatonic that you know, pours out into the Hudson. So here's the town of Cheshire, Massachusetts, and then I do believe that High Peak, about, let's say, centered now, will be the gray. Oh, gee whiz, I can't remember the name. My mind is shot. Well, here we are at the Cobble here in Massachusetts, and this is a marble outcropping, and it's got such a gorgeous view. Here's the the Housatonic and empties out into the Hudson River, you know, eventually in New York. And up to the right is the Greylock Mountain, which will be the highest peak on the AT that we climb in Massachusetts. But the reason that I really stopped here, oh, and here's the town of Cheshire down below. We'll be hiking through that. The AT actually goes through basically the center of town, or to the east perhaps a bit, but for the most part right through the town. But my point here is that the marble in Massachusetts, it was told to me by a local resident that the marble in the White House for the construction of it, the marble came here from Massachusetts. So I found a vein of marble in Connecticut, and I thought it was, and anyways, and I commented on it, and many veins of marble here since I've been in Massachusetts, and a little bit of the history of it. Yes, the marble in the White House came here from Massachusetts. I couldn't say whether or not it's from this exact area and the Berkshires and everything, but I wouldn't doubt it. It is absolutely gorgeous. Well, here we are at the Cobble here in Massachusetts, and this is a marble outcropping, and this beautiful outcropping overlooks the town of Cheshire and the Hoosic River here, where it empties out into the Hudson River, you know, and heading and flowing into New York City, and out into the Atlantic. So, and up here also is a view of the Greylock Mountain, which will be the highest peak in Massachusetts. I believe we'll be there tomorrow sometime, I would say, and on our way into Vermont. But until then, I wanted to mention about the marble here in Massachusetts. I was speaking with a local resident, and he had said to me that during the White House construction, the marble came from Massachusetts, and whether or not it actually came from this location or the Berkshires here in Massachusetts, but I wouldn't doubt it. So once again, we'll take a look at the Greylock Mountain and the Hoosic River and beyond. Into infinity! Just had to say that at least once. Just loving all this geology, beautiful rock formations, all of this marble. I tell you, it's just absolutely, positively gorgeous. Every bit of it, going all the way up. Well, we're back into the higher elevations. We climbed Mount Greylock yesterday in Massachusetts, the highest peak in Massachusetts at around 3,400 plus feet, and here we are a few miles from the border of Vermont, and I really enjoyed Massachusetts. I'm sure I'll enjoy Vermont and New Hampshire. Wow, and the whites. But just want to take a moment here. It's Sunday, August 26th, I believe it says. 2:28 in the afternoon, and I stopped at this brook here, and the water is absolutely gorgeous, cold, just crystal clear, white sand all around from the erosion of the marble, and it's quite picturesque, to say the least. So I'm enjoying some good cold clear mountain water. Water has been pretty sketchy through the mid-states in New Jersey. You know, a lot of low-lying lands, a lot of ponds, a lot of still water. So I'm really, really excited, and I've stopped here purposefully to enjoy the moment. The babbling brook. I just pigged out on a Chinese buffet in North Adams. I'm stuffed to the gills, but that's good. I'll hike on, give me some good miles in today, and well, cross the border into Vermont here in just a bit. I had mentioned, and geez, want to start to talk about the wrapping up of this season's hiking here for me. Be ending my hike on September 7th, so it's coming up, and be back in New York City, back with my bees, all my friends, and back to work. You know, so I tell you, it is been a great second part of my hiking of the Appalachian Trail. I hiked with through hikers all of this year. Did a lot of really cool interviews. I mean, can you believe the interviews just in this section alone? So it's very dynamic and different compared to last year's season of hiking the Appalachian Trail in the beginning down in Georgia. And I spent by hiking starting at the end of May 24th. It was busy in Springer, it was busy in the Smokies, but in July and August, it was very quiet. I would spend 4 or 5 days without seeing another person, except for when you were at the more popular destinations like Mount Rogers in Virginia. But I think you always have a lot of time alone while you're hiking, but it's certainly been different. Just I must have hiked with 50 or 60 people this year, you know, bouncing from group to group of people, and it was very rewarding. I met some wonderful people. So as I reflect here at this brook with the wonderful background sounds, yeah, I have to admit, I'm very pleased. I'd say it's very successful, and I hope that you have enjoyed my journey and our journey as well. You know, I've brought you all with me, and I do that constantly, and this is what it's all about for me, is sharing and teaching, you know, and with a joyful heart right from the beginning. It's been an amazing adventure. I'll be meeting my mother on September 7th. My brother took ill with a stroke, and he's coming along quite fine, but my mom's 3 sons will be together for the first time because of it. My other brother will be flying with my mother out of Florida, and will join me in Vermont, and we will go. They will pick me up on the 7th, and we will go see my brother. It will be the first time all 3 of us boys have been together in over a decade, and to meet in Vermont for me and as a family has a lot of special memories for me. We lived there off and on in Vermont for, geez, probably 8 years. It's a long time. Built up a lot of friendships in Vermont with local Vermont people as a traveling family. So, yeah, it'll be nice to visit. So I just wanted to start into my conclusion of wrapping this journey up this season. It's hard for me, but I mean, I need to move on, and I'll be back. Have New Hampshire and Maine to finish up. I will have done it, my entire hiking of the Appalachian Trail, and in 3 seasons. I had hoped to do it first in 1 and then in 2, but life, not to say gets in the way, but I do have to roll with things, and it's best that way instead of fighting life. fighting all the nuances and various, not to say obstacles, but changes, and to be able to roll with it works best for me. It's best to, you know, swim with the stream, or at least an angle with the stream. It'll teach you that in lifesaving. So, as I ponder a few thoughts and memories here at this very relaxing place here, we will conclude shortly. I'm looking forward to this upload. I thought it was very dynamic, and I'm very happy. Well, really starts off with a bang, eh? The Guthrie Center. Jeez. Excellent. I think this is all so wonderful. And we will most certainly continue this. I guarantee that. Oh, look at that millipede on this boletus here. Hey. Well, here's a nice and fresh one. And I thought it was the Boletus bicolorus, but it just could be the red cracked bolet. But still, very, very tasty, very fragrant, very edible. What a gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous summertime mushroom. They just smell like spiced apples. I just really enjoy them a lot. Nice and kind of a dry saute. Heat them up real hot and just serve them fresh. I've got chicken in the woods to go with my chicken noodle soup for this evening supper. But I better get on, that's for sure. But I just had to point this beauty out to you. And again, yeah, the red cracked, they're just so gorgeous. And so these are a little beyond. I'm sure they're full of you know, beetle larvae by now. But if you don't mind a little extra protein, absolutely delicious. Well, here we are at a wonderful water oasis. This is called Peat Spring. We're still in Massachusetts, just shy of the border into Vermont. And I just wanted to show you, and what I look for is flow. So here we have nice flow moving from the pond, or from the pool here, as you will, and right down below here, underneath these rocks here, if I can change my angle here a little bit, you can actually see where the spring, see it moving. You see the water flowing right from underneath that rock there, and that's where it's coming right out of the ground. Wonderful water source. This is what I like to see. This is spoiled us down in the south. It's good to be back again, baby. Well, here we have a mushroom. From here I would believe it's the genus of Boletus, but it would be really hard to tell the species here because it is completely covered and being devoured by a mold that attacks the Boletus and the Rusula and the milky mushrooms that I have noticed thus far. But all the same, that is a mushroom, and it's not a white one. It is, yeah, be really hard to even say at this point what it is. And there is actually a mold creates a mushroom called a lobster mushroom, but it's actually the mold that gives it its flavor. You can eat it, but you best sure you know what mushroom it is that it's covering, because if it's in the Amantia, it could be in a poisonous mushroom, and you could have a very, very bad effect. But very cool all the same. I like it. It's nature at work. Beautiful in its genius. Well, here we are. We are in Vermont. I will be. Just 2 seconds. and the southern terminus of the long trail that goes through Vermont, which I'm sure I will hike. Very nice. Now here we are. It's August 27th, which is Monday morning. And we're just heading to this pond here. Thought I would do a dedication to a couple of hiking friends of mine, the Twisted Sisters. I told them that I would do a little song for them. Told them that I would do them. The Indigo Girls, Mystery, and that was Styx and Psycho, the couple from the Midwest, the Twisted Sisters, we all call them. So I will do my best for you, ladies. Each time you pulled down the driveway, I wasn't sure when I would see you again. Yours was a twisted blindside highway, no matter which road you took then. Oh, you set up a place in my thoughts, moved in and made my thinking crowded. Now we're out in the back with the barking dogs, my heart the red sun, your heart the moon clouded. I could go crazy on a night like tonight. The summer's beginning to give up her fight, and every thought's a possibility. The voices are heard, but nothing is seen. Why do you spend this time with me? Maybe an equal mystery. So what is love then? Is it dictated or chosen? Does it sing like the hymns of 1,000 years? Or is it just pop emotion? And if it ever was there and it left, does it mean it was never true? To exist, it must elude. That's why I think these things of you. But I could go crazy on a night like tonight, when summer's beginning to give up her fight, and every thought's a possibility, and voices are heard, but nothing is seen. Why do you spend this time with me? Maybe an equal mystery. But you like the taste of danger, it shines like sugar on your lips. You like to stand in the line of fire, just to show you can shoot straight from your hip. There must be 1,000 things you would die for. I can hardly think of two. But not everything is better spoken aloud. Not when I'm talking to you. Oh, the pirate gets the ship and the girl tonight breaks a bottle to christen her. Basking in the exploits of her thief, she's a very good listener. Maybe that's all that we need, is to meet in the middle of impossibility. Standing at opposite poles, equal partners in a mystery. We're standing at opposite poles, equal partners in a mystery. Thank you, girls. You really helped my adventure feel so wonderful this year. And thank you again, and to all that I hiked with.